So I don't understand. And the other thing I don't get is the people that go, you can be healthy at any size.
Bullshit.
That's not true.
No.
Now, you can be overweight and be healthy.
Yeah.
But can you be morbidly obese at 600 pounds and bedridden and be healthy?
No.
That's not a healthy state anywhere.
No, it's
unless
not.
you're a baby elephant.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
There's people that argue it, Tim.
They do. Yeah.
It happens.
That's what
There's
the fat,
people-
fat positivity shit is.
So you're telling me there's a person out there that says that person's healthy?
Yes.
Even though they're
Not just
I
one
just
person.
watched a bunch
there
of those
are
today.
Thousands of them.
I watched somebody that was 450 pounds saying that I swim 2.5 miles a day. No, you don't.
Yeah, bullshit.
You float 2.5 miles a day.
It probably is like pool exercises and stuff like that. They consider swimming.
But what I'm saying though is somebody that's I guess they did the like an average person that would take over an hour and a half to do that.
Yeah.
For the average person. So she's saying that she spends, and she's probably not swimming as fast as the other people. So she's saying that she swims 2 to 3 hours a day every day.
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
That doesn't make sense.
You know, and
Like I said, unless she's floating.
That's it.
There was that overweight person that got on a flight recently. It was,
yes.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
We,
She
we
couldn't fit
did
We
that.
watched that video, yeah.
Yeah, and she was bitching about it, and it's
And-
like, okay,
yeah.
well then you can do other things to get rid of it. I don't know, maybe lose some weight. I get it. That's how you make your money. But then don't bitch about shit.
Yeah,
it's not.
and-
It's not designed. I'm sorry, we're not making the world for one
No.
person.
Well, that's
we have to
what
make it for
she
the
was-
average people.
That's what she was saying. She wanted them to make planes that were big enough for to
Plus
cater to
size
the
models.
Yeah, there's
It's
that
like, dude,
Russian
that's
plane
bullshit.
that shit they can take. Look up the biggest Russian plane in the world. It's fucking
Oh,
giant.
is it like
Hercules
a-
or whatever it
No, the Hercules is ours. Maybe it is theirs. I can't remember now. Damn it. I got those two confused.
I'm sure there's a way to figure it out.
I doubt it. It's like a Zukov or something. I don't
that-
know. Something weird name.
Well, that's a cargo plane. Well, hey, cargo planes.
It's
will
an
work good.
Antonov. Yeah.
Oh, the Antonov. Yeah. So
No, it's Antonov Airlines, but I don't know the name of it. Look up the name of it. Can you
well,
find
this
the
is
name?
here the Antonov AN225 Maria.
Yeah, that's the one. So
Yeah.
it needs at least 85 wheels to service these people.
We have one where the nose cone folds up and the rear.
So does
folds
that
up.
one.
Yeah.
That one, the whole fucking, like,
really
everything
cool.
except for the cockpit goes up in the air.
Yeah.
But that's
You can
another-
fit, like, a tank in there and a tank on top of it and a tank on top of that.
Yeah, I
It's
think that's what
crazy.
they use it for, is for military transport.
Yeah.
of
But that's
equipment.
one of the things these people are doing is that they're demanding, like not asking or anything like that or suggesting, just demanding that people change
that's the, main
world
I mean,
for
that's
them.
that's you're hitting the nail on the head there. That's how protests and that's how this works now. The woke people are now demanding stuff, saying this has to be this way and no questions can be asked about it.
Well, that's the terrible part of it. I mean, yes, the demanding stuff's not great, but the part where you can't have another opinion.
Yeah.
you
and it's like,
can't
well, then how do
argue
we
with
get
it.
to a conclusion if we don't have an argument?
The one that's saying, you guys are fascists, by being fascists, they're calling other people fascists.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
those
it's
They
not
don't
just that.
actually know
They're-
what the word
They're
fascist
going out.
means.
It's like when they would have. And look, I'm not on either side of these the protesters. I don't understand. Like, I don't care enough to go out and fucking spend time in a crowd. I don't like crowds.
Well, no, I get the protest. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of getting out of the house and doing anything either.
There you go.
I'm not a fan of it.
There you go.
But when it comes knocking on my door, which it doesn't.
But the whole idea that they would go out and do like protests at somebody else's protest and then start fighting them at either side, and then calling someone fascist that's on the side that you were started the fight against. It's like, but that's what the fascists did. They would go
literally
in,
what they did,
break up shit, and fucking
Yeah, you weren't allowed to have an opinion or say anything about it.
Well,
They
there's
would
also
silence.
there's
fucking
like things
crazy.
like Antifa where they claim, oh, we're anti-fascist, and yet they're conducting
That's
fascist
what I was
things. Yeah, they're
referencing
doing
without
fascist
saying
things.
the name.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, why
whatever.
can't we say that? We just don't want to piss off the fascists
Because
out
I'm not
there?
on either side of the. I don't care, is what it is.
Well, you are.
I'm not on either side. I don't. I think the Proud Boys are stupid. I think Antifa.
Oh, sure, me too.
Well, no,
but-
I mean on the side of the transgender rights is what I'm saying. That's what I was kind of referencing when I first made that statement.
Yeah,
it's
they do
you're
that
not
too.
allowed to have an opinion
And
about it.
where they'll go into
or
like,
your opinion's wrong, and I'm
or they'll go into colleges and shut something down because somebody's speaking.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
we don't
That's
like
stupid
this
as
guy.
hell.
they
I saw
scream
one
over the top of them, and they'll bring whistles and whatever they
That
can.
happens to people all the
I
time.
saw one with Matt Walsh where he went into a college and somebody was in there to protest that was, I think trans or not, I don't know. I think it was, but went in there and was like, stands up to have a conversation with Matt and like, I listened to your entire thing and I was here initially to protest this, but you haven't said anything that's not true.
Well, it's because a lot of these people just
hilarious.
get lies from. They don't actually watch the
Well, it's the same
content
thing.
of these people. They just hear what other people.
It's the
are
same
telling
thing
them
that
about.
happens on the other side.
Sure.
You need to hate this person because they're on the other side of the aisle.
Right.
And so, like, some right-wing people will tell each other that this person's terrible.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and listen to him and be like, all right, maybe they're not as terrible as I thought they
Yeah. It's
were.
like I may disagree with these things, but
yes,
they're not as bad as I
yeah,
was told.
I don't think that they're doing it out of spite now.
Sure.
I don't think they're doing it to try to kill everyone.
Right.
But
And that goes for the same for the other side as well. It's that tribalist team sport kind of
which
mentality.
is why I hate both sides.
I do too.
I've always hate. I don't like the religious right at all.
Me neither.
I don't like the woke left.
Same here.
I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah.
Let's not. I don't know. And
But there has to be a label on it.
there doesn't have to be a label on it.
In today's society,
Yes, you're right.
there has to
Oh, I
Today
know.
there
Yeah,
has to be.
everything's labeled these days.
Because here's the thing. If
So
you're
you have to have some sort of identity,
well, if you're not Christian to the right wing Christian identifying people,
you're a leftist.
No, you're not a leftist. You're a Satanist.
Oh,
yes, they do use
You're
the
a Satanist,
Satanist
right?
all the time.
If you're not
Even
woke
though- yeah.
on this side, you're a fucking Nazi.
Right.
You're like, if I have anything to say that's like, I don't agree with that. Oh, what are you, a Nazi?
Yeah.
Clearly, white guy, you have to be Nazi. It's like, no, you don't. There's other choices.
Yeah, no,
you don't have to
that's
choose that.
true.
It's not Nazi or crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, like seriously,
I mean, they're
I've
both
seen
crazy.
I've seen people on the right, sort of the Christian right. They say like the transgender stuff is satanic, and it's like, no, it's not satanic. It's just fucked up.
Yeah, it's
Like,
stupid.
It's there's nothing real.
And I'm not against anybody having rights. It's just
No.
it's fucking.
That's
trying to make
question-
more rights
the
for somebody
question I
than
have
they
is,
Exactly.
should
what
have.
rights don't they have?
That's the question.
They already
I've had
got them
too.
all.
It's like, really, what are you gone without? Are you
Well,
really,
and when-
really want to go to a woman's bathroom? That's
And
what-
when they say something
that's what
like
your right is.
well, I
You
just want the
that
right
so
to
bad.
exist. I'm like,
why
but
do
you're
they care
here.
so much.
You can exist.
Yeah.
You're working a good
They
job.
always
or-
say that shit,
or not.
like, oh, you're trying to prevent us from existing or whatever. It's like nobody's doing that.
Yeah,
like
there's groups out there. There's mass genocide of transgenders, and we're being
Where?
killed in droves.
I mean, maybe
It's
in like
not happening.
Iran or something. Well, actually, Iran.
not in America.
Actually, Iran does it weird. Or at least this is what I heard, so it could be fake. But they don't allow gay people.
neither is Russia.
No, but Iran will allow a dude to transition and become a chick.
But don't they have to like live their life
As a
after
chick.
that, as a
100%.
chick? They can't go back
no,
or whatever.
nothing.
Yeah.
So they'll allow that. It's weird how like
is
they're
weird.
they're like, no, we can't have two dudes doing anything, but you can do this.
You lop that off, you can.
It's just weird to me for a place that would probably stone you to death for being gay.
Yeah.
It's so odd to me.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
very-
then in
very
Russia,
homophobic.
It's fucking
Russia
crazy.
they tossed gay people off rooftops.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
ISIS did the same shit.
Well,
when they
what
were
was it?
doing their
Putin
fun
said
stuff.
that. I was like, no problem with being gay. Just don't come here. That's essentially what he fucking said.
Well, that's when the guy
it's not allowed in my country.
when the guy from Iran didn't he come to the U.S. once and then speak or something like that? The president of Iran.
Recently,
know.
something like that. I can't
What was his
remember.
name? Something.
Well,
Something.
I know we had one from India.
I think-
Yeah, that
Modi.
was the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I think maybe it was one of his
Emirate or
speeches that he
something like
did.
that.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, he said, "No, we don't have any gay people in this country." It's like, what do you have? 2 people in the country? I mean, I
Right,
can
yeah.
understand that. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
There's 2 of you.
kind of what I was alluding to a while back of this being the new norm. I mean, remember when gay was a very taboo thing?
I think
and
there's
they
a
didn't
difference.
have rights.
But I think there's a difference between
You know what I mean?
somebody's
They
just
couldn't get
straight up
married.
attraction.
Oh, yeah.
But I do. I think there's a complete difference between somebody's attraction and when somebody's now actually actively, it seems like, trying to get inundated in schools and all this other shit.
They are.
Because you've seen. I mean, you've sent me posts of the gay activists that have come out against the whole fucking woke shit.
Yeah, there's like
gays against
gays
groomers.
against
Yeah.
groomers.
Yeah,
Yep,
those
yep.
guys are fantastic.
So it's like,
we got everything. We don't need it. Stop.
Stop before it regresses. Before they go, you know
that's what they're saying. They're
We're
saying
done
you're
with
making
that.
this look bad.
Well, like
you know,
a prime example recently was the transgender community that went to the Capitol. We talked about that as well. The girl took her top off.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but
Well, yeah. Well, so there's a three or probably a lot more than 3 or 4, but ones that were on the video.
yeah,
That took their tops off. Some women that had what is that called? Transitioned to men.
Yeah.
And then a man that transitioned to a woman. Mm-hmm. They met the president, shook his hand and all that, and then after the celebration, they decided to show their chests off.
yeah.
Oh wait, was this?
And that
Yeah, I think I
pissed
saw
the
this.
The trans community was furious. It's
Yeah.
like, this isn't supposed to be about sex, you dipshit. It's
Yeah.
not about sexual attraction. It's about who you are. You just sexualized us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were furious about
Well,
it.
that's what a lot of these activists tend to. It's usually the activists that are the worst, because they're the ones that do the most extreme shit.
Well, that's the argument of the trans community. This isn't about sex or who are we attracted to. It's about a gender thing. And when you make it a sexual thing, it deters from what their
The message
quote
or
unquote
whatever.
goal is.
I mean, I think if you boil everything
But
down,
that's it.
almost everything's about sex.
They don't have.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, that's the argument for the bathroom thing. It's like, I don't want an adult male to go to the bathroom with my, or child daughter. I
Sure,
don't want
about
that.
to say infant.
Well,
Do you know your kids' ages?
I wasn't
Well,
referencing myself.
Well, the same
that's
thing's
the argument
happening.
that a lot of people
Yeah.
have.
Well, the same thing's happening with like women's
Just
sports
leaving
and stuff.
your infant in a
You know,
bathroom
like-
to fend for itself. That's weird.
Good luck.
Well, that's the same thing that's happening in women's
Let us
sports
know when
and
you're
stuff.
done.
You know, that's like that Leah Thomas, like the person's like people that were also in the women's
Well,
bathroom.
there's that
and
one
stuff.
chick that's
He just
super-
walks in and fucking takes his
Yeah,
pants
and
down and
they're-
boom, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
They
There's a-
can't protest that either.
No, there's
They were
one.
getting
There's
in trouble
one.
for
The
it.
female athletes, what they say anything, they're chastised.
There's actually
Yeah.
no. There's one chick going on the rounds right
There is.
now.
Her name's Riley Gaines. I
Okay, yeah, there we go. But she's going around on every podcast she can possibly get onto, and fucking coming out saying this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
think-
None of us were prepared for this. None of us were even told that this was going to happen. And on top of it, when you're having somebody beat world records, right, by a lot.
When you're in the top percentage of the women, but you're the bottom 100th percentile of the men.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. The people that say, well, men and women aren't. It's bullshit. Stop it.
Bullshit.
Yeah, we've
At
already-
the extremes.
We've covered that in
I know,
lengths.
but at the extremes, it's way fucking different. Sure,
Absolutely.
if you go into the middle ground where you just take the average guy and average girl and put them in a swimming contest, you might get very similar times.
Sure.
But when you take peak fitness athletes
That's why
Different
I say
and
story.
put them at the, it's so different.
Make
Different
a
story.
third branch.
Well, you could do that.
Men's, women's, trans.
Well, like, okay,
why
I just
not?
saw this
Why
recently
not?
where they had
Nobody will watch it, just
look,
like the WNBA
Who
and
cares?
shit like that. I
It's
mean,
like, no, you can compete.
they had the
if you want to
women's.
compete, you can compete.
So they had a multiple female kickboxing champion. I forget what her name is, and she fought one
Fallon
of the.
Fox?
No, that's not.
Okay.
No.
Oh, you're kickboxing.
Yeah, kickboxing. And she had won like every fucking championship you can get in kickboxing on the women's side.
Oh, okay.
And she went up against a amateur kickboxer, a male, and the male beat the living shit out of her. And he was an amateur, and like on any of the men's side, he was not even like really on
if he
the
was
ranking.
if I was gonna say if he was gonna be ranked and there were like 1,000 people in
Yeah,
the
he
professional,
would've been low.
He would have been ranked 2010.
Right. And
know?
and I watched this thing, and they were talking about it. He whooped the shit out of her.
Well, it's the same thing that
And,
happened with what they did this in the 70s with what Billie Jean King, who went and played tennis against dudes and got crushed by like the 300th
Yeah.
ranked guy.
Yeah.
Like crushed
No,
because he's doing 135 mile an hour serves when the max at the time I think for women was like 110, 115
Yeah.
or something like that. So it's like, yeah, of course.
yeah.
It's different.
Totally
I'm sorry.
different.
It's just a fact. It
Yeah.
sucks that facts are now weird.
You said no one would watch the transgender league. I think that would probably be the most incredible thing.
No, I
to
think people would watch
the
it.
spread would be insane.
Oh, yeah.
For something like that.
I think so.
I don't know,
Gamblers
man.
would fucking love that.
I think it'd
If
be
you think about it, you get a transgender man and a transgender woman, or
But they have to go against each other.
Think about that.
Right.
Oh yeah,
That'd be fucking wild.
The new guys getting destroyed.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Every time.
That's kind of what I
Every
mean.
time,
Let them
yeah.
have their league. Let them have their Olympic sport.
See, but that's
Yeah,
even
sure.
that's even unfair.
That's the
in
rights
right
that they
there.
need. That's
If-
that's
that's-
the rights they deserve.
If that's what they're wanting and demanding,
Give
it's like,
it
make
to
a
them.
different branch, like you're saying, so that the others can just go about it the
By
way
all
we always
means,
have.
yep. By all means, compete.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
want to compete, and that's the other thing they also say about it.
Who's going to
It's-
make this league, Tim?
Same
Nobody.
one to do the handicap leagues. You know, the Special Olympics. We could have the trans.
Maybe we
Olympics.
should start it.
That's not a bad idea. Honestly,
Just start
I
traveling.
really think that'd be a beneficial thing for all sides. You know what? You get a league.
You get a league. We're
you
like
want-
Oprah.
You want to play? You want to play softball? You can play softball. You
Check
wanna-
under your seats, everyone.
You want to go swimming?
You get a league. You get a
can
league.
Swim competitively. But if your gender starts one way and it goes, if it's different a different way. If you're born this gender and your gender is different, you're in this league now.
See, what they just need to do is be able to make, like, eventually.
And honestly, I think that would get clicks. I think that would get views. That would
Oh,
be
probably
a
would,
very
yeah.
entertaining sport. I probably watch a lot of it. It's like, oh shit.
But then, hey,
That guy fucking
and
smoked
you
him.
would get the at least knock down some of the bitching about.
And that's the thing.
you know-
No, you wouldn't. You'll never knock down the
I would
bitching.
no. I'd
Maybe.
give it 5 years. 5 years
Before it
would-
implodes?
It would implode.
Yeah. Before it became the fucking.
I'm not doing this. I keep getting beat.
Yeah.
No fucking shit.
no shit.
Before it became Ocean Gate
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck the name of it
Yeah.
was.
That's what it was. Ocean Gate.
Okay. At least I got it right.
Honestly, I think that's as I piece it together more and more, it's brilliant. It would really work well for about 5 years or less. There would be so
well,
many.
and if anything, it would just prove the biological side of things,
Right.
You know, just even more.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
And I
It's like,
I have
okay, you
no
got it if you
argument
want it,
against it.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
There's your rights.
There
you
you
have your
go.
rights now. You
Yep.
can compete, and you can compete with, these people.
You people.
But that's what it would be.